5 years from now, you will wake up with one of two thoughts. Either you will feel a quiet pride that your life finally changed, or you will feel the same weight, realizing nothing truly moved. That outcome will not come from luck, timing, or some dramatic breakthrough. It will be the result of a small decision repeated when no one was watching. The most powerful choices rarely look impressive. They feel boring, uncomfortable, and easy to ignore, which is exactly why most people skip them. Every morning offers a narrow window where your mind is sharp, uncluttered, and ready to aim. Most people sleep straight through it. Hitting snooze feels harmless, but it quietly teaches your brain that comfort comes first. That lesson compounds faster than you think. The issue is not discipline or motivation. The issue is where your best mental energy gets spent. Some people invest it into growth. Others donate it to distraction without noticing the cost. Over time, that difference turns into two completely different lives. The first moments after waking are not ordinary minutes. They are prime mental territory before the world starts pulling on your attention. Your thoughts are clearer, your resistance is lower, and your focus has not yet been fragmented by noise. Most people waste this state without realizing what they are giving away. They scroll, react, and consume before they create. Once that window closes, it does not reopen later in the day. You cannot replace it with coffee or motivation. This is why progress often feels so hard. People try to build their future using leftover energy. The people you admire are not special or extreme. They simply protect this early mental state. They claim time before distractions claim them. That single habit quietly separates builders from spectators. This is not about becoming a morning person. It is about refusing to waste your strongest mental state. You do not wake up early to suffer. You wake up early to think clearly without interference. No notifications, no messages, no expectations. Just uninterrupted control over your attention. That silence is not empty. It is where decisions become intentional instead of reactive. Most people never experience this clarity because they trade it away immediately. They wonder why they feel behind, scattered, and constantly catching up. The truth is simple. They never own the start of their day. Control the beginning, and the rest becomes easier to manage. This is not about becoming a morning person. It is about refusing to waste your strongest mental state. You do not wake up early to suffer. You wake up early to think clearly without interference. No notifications, no messages, no expectations. Just uninterrupted control over your attention. That silence is not empty. It is where decisions become intentional instead of reactive. Most people never experience this clarity because they trade it away immediately. They wonder why they feel behind, scattered, and constantly catching up. The truth is simple. They never own the start of their day. Control the beginning, and the rest becomes easier to manage. Most people will never see how progress is actually built. They only notice the finished version, never the silent repetitions behind it. They assume confidence appears suddenly, like a switch being flipped. They believe discipline is something you either have or you do not. What they never witness are the quiet hours with no applause, the moments where nothing feels rewarding, but everything is forming. This is why consistency feels isolating. It removes external validation and leaves you alone with your choice. Not because the work is difficult, but because the results stay invisible for a long time. In that silence, doubt grows louder than motivation, and that is exactly where most people stop. If you are still here, you are not behind. You are simply early in the process. And early always feels empty right before it becomes powerful. Every morning, there is a moment that decides the tone of your day. Not the big plans, not the long-term goals, just that first small action. Before the world asks anything from you, you choose who you are. Reactive or intentional. Drifting or directing. Most people give that moment away without noticing. They hand it to notifications, noise, and urgency created by others. But when you protect that first hour, something shifts internally. You stop chasing focus and start owning it. Clarity replaces rush. Presence replaces pressure. You begin the day already ahead, not catching up, not proving anything, not performing, just quietly aligned with yourself. And that alignment compounds faster than motivation ever could. This is how momentum is built, not through intensity, but through control. One calm morning at a time. At some point, motivation disappears. Not dramatically, quietly. You wake up and the excitement is gone. No rush, no spark, just routine. This is the moment most people misread. They think something is wrong, but nothing is broken. This is simply where discipline replaces emotion. Progress does not announce itself. It hides inside repetition. Showing up without feeling inspired is what separates intention from identity. Anyone can act when it feels good. Very few act when it feels empty. And that emptiness is not a signal to stop. It is proof you are past the beginner phase. This is where real change locks in. Not loudly, permanently. Quiet commitment beats loud motivation every single time. Eventually, something subtle changes. Not your schedule, not your environment. Your reactions slow down. Your attention stops scattering so easily. You notice yourself pausing before responding, thinking before acting. Where chaos once pulled you outward, calm now pulls you inward. You stop needing constant stimulation. Silence becomes usable instead of uncomfortable. This is when focus becomes reliable. Not forced, not hyped, just present. You begin to trust yourself more, because you keep showing up the same way. No drama, no extremes, just quiet self-respect forming underneath. This is what stability feels like. Not exciting, but powerful. And once it's built, it does not disappear easily. After enough repetition, effort starts to feel familiar. Not heavy, not dramatic, just expected. You no longer negotiate with yourself every morning. The decision is already made before doubt appears. Discipline stops feeling like resistance and begins functioning like a reliable structure. You stop depending on mood. You depend on systems you've already tested. Focus becomes predictable. Energy follows direction, not emotion. There is less mental clutter. Fewer internal arguments stealing momentum. What once required force now runs automatically in the background. This is when progress becomes sustainable, because it no longer relies on motivation. You are not pushing growth anymore. You are maintaining it with precision, and that is how momentum becomes permanent. The years of small choices have brought you here. Quiet, deliberate, relentless. Your hands move with certainty. Your mind is aligned. Then you see him, your former self. The Leo who hesitated. The one who hit snooze. He stands there, uncertain, fidgeting, surrounded by scattered objects. He looks for shortcuts, for quick fixes, for applause. You don't rush, you don't judge. You simply observe the contrast. The difference is not luck. It is every moment you showed up, even when it felt pointless. Now you reach out, not to fix him, but to acknowledge. To recognize how far you've come. In that silent recognition, something unspoken passes between you. The past. Leo steps aside. The present Leo stands taller. Growth is not loud. It is quiet, undeniable, unstoppable. And in that white space, full of simple objects and subtle systems, you finally see yourself, whole, aligned, unstoppable.